Welcome back to Lady Babylon. This is Wednesday night Bible study. Tonight we will be covering a range of topics that all center around the storm of the drugs and the mystery. We'll be able to talk with a special guest, Travis Kitchens, and hopefully make some commotion. Well, tonight I thought we would start out by giving the offerings of a dead mage, a dead magus who washed ashore recently. He's been dead for almost 2,000 years, but he was put on trial. He was put on trial for magic, and it turned out well. He came through it okay. He ended up writing a whole bunch of stuff. And I just want to resurrect his words. This is a prayer, and this is a prayer like I am sure you have never heard. Let's hear the words of the Magus himself. O Queen of Heaven, whether you are bountiful Ceres, the primal mother of crops, who in joy at the recovery of your daughter, took away from men their primal animal fodder of acorns and showed them gentler nourishment, and now dwell in the land of Eleusis. Or heavenly Venus, who at the first foundation of the universe united the diversity of the sexes by creating love and propagated the human race through ever-recurring progeny. And now you are worshipped on the island sanctuary of Paphos. Or Phoebus' sister, who brought forth populous multitudes by relieving the delivery of offspring with your soothing remedies, and now are venerated at the illustrious shrine at Ephesus. Or dreaded Proserpina of the nocturnal howls, who in triple form repress the attacks of ghosts and keep the gates to earth closed fast, roam through widely scattering groves and are propitiated by diverse rites. You who illumine every city with your womanly light. I told you never heard a prayer like this. Nourish the joyous seeds with your moist fires and dispense beams of fluctuating radiance according to the convolutions of the sun, by whatever name, with whatever right, in whatever image it is meet to invoke you. That's the prayer. Tonight we're going to try to penetrate into a world that it's hard to believe exists. There's a shock to it. You won't understand it. It won't feel good. It won't feel right. And that's where we deep dive. So I want to deep dive with some real life chemistry and some real life serpents. And in order to start there, in order to get there, we're going to start with Travis Kitchens. Travis Kitchens. And Travis, would you mind regaling us a little bit about your background with Kentucky and just lead us into the subject, Travis?
When most people think of Kentucky, they think of the mountainous region of Kentucky, people playing banjos, the whole tradition of folk music over there. Then there's central Kentucky, which is horses and bourbon. Then there's western Kentucky, which the Green River cuts right through it. I'm from that region of Kentucky. So my interest in serpent handling cults does not really come from my background. It comes from my participation in a study at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, a psychedelic clinical trial. And I became interested in the background of these studies and the science behind these studies. And one of the things I found interesting about them is that most of their footnotes are from comparative religion and the psychology of religion. And more specifically, William James. The main measurement that Hopkins uses, the Hood mysticism scale, was created by a man named Ralph Hood, who's a professor and psychologist at UT Chattanooga, and he is an expert in serpent handling cults. So that's how I became interested in him. And of course I said, oh, that's weird. I never thought that the Johns Hopkins psychedelic study, you know, the history of psychedelic research, or Albert Hoffman and Timothy Leary and all these very highly educated intellectuals and aristocrats like Aldous Huxley. I thought, oh, there's a tie-in to what I perceived as sort of semi-primitive religious cults from Appalachia.
Semi-primitive religious cults. Do you feel where we landed? Boom. Got a little dust up in there. You can smell it. Semi-primitive religious cults. I bet these cults have something to do with music, and I'd like to introduce you to somebody who's actually living and sings. Yeah, you're going to hear some of the heart. You're going to hear some of the heart of this old, musty, burning purple mystery. Yes, please.
One day nothing of this world will remain to say we were ever here. Even our names carved in stone, erased one day, like we were never here. Oh, we live a little while, then we're gone forever. Leave it up to the left behind. Who, what, when, where, why, whatever. We live a little while, then we're gone forevermore.
So we've got snakes and we've got old cultural conceptions of drugs and animals, plants, things that you can take into your body, mingled with the idea of ecstasy. And tell me, Travis, can we just take these atheists and tie them down and drug them?
You know, these studies produce all kinds of weird experiences. They've done, you know, let me give you one. They've done a informal survey study, but they published a paper on it that showed that 90% of atheists who took psychedelics after one experience weren't atheists anymore. This is dismaying to many of the psychedelic researchers, because it makes people essentially believe in supernatural things. You have lots of alien encounter experiences, alien entity experiences. Telepathy. Many people, there's reports of telepathy, out-of-body experiences, speaking to dead relatives. It's the whole panorama of supernatural experiences. So the answer to your question is, they're having a whole lot of trouble separating those things from the therapeutic experience, because it seems to be that this experience of God is the therapeutic benefit.
So we can bring therapy. This is fantastic. Look what we've got. We've got the cult up and running. There's a great psychoanalyzing, trauma healing warrior with a DR in front of his name and an expertise in Jung. And I thought I would add his quote of the day at this point, just to tie everything together. And this is in the context of us discussing the treatment of the modern mind, the treatment of the soul, right? I would have given you the water of life. And this is what we're discussing, because John is right on the frontier of that. And he's in a think tank. He's right in there. He knows what he's doing. And where are we, John? What can we do? Go ahead. Yeah, you can't just give some someone hermaphroditic sex juice. That's a lot. That says a lot. That says a lot. Yeah. Where are we? In Bible studies, we are in the apocalypse of John. And don't get your pants in a bunch if I tell you that this thing was never written by a man, could not have been written by a man, and will be shown not to have been written by a man. It was written by a Sibyl. It was composed. It's music. And we're going to go dance with the dragon and see what that has to do with the order of the rose. But before we do, I want to thank Travis, but I want to thank Travis for reaching out to artists who are buried and who try to honor the muse this way. Remember, we're not, all of us are here because of the muse. You can't come to this templum, this sacred space that we have constructed without following the muse. So thank you, Travis. We're talking about a rose and the order thereof. Yeah, the order of the rose. We're going to start and end up with in the same place. And that place starts with a romance and it ends with Sappho on the island of Lesbos. Yeah, and the power of this goddess that we just prayed to. And I wanted that to stick in your minds because that is a prayer that you wouldn't necessarily associate with today in the midst of our modern culture, global, the whole thing. So I want to shock you into the commonplace in antiquity, where it doesn't seem odd that we have a female that we are recognizing as the divine power that guides us all. Yes, the very author of life. Beautiful stuff. Could you give your yellow roses now, Chewy?
They are the yellow flowers that bring out sprouts of honeydew smells and maple sweet rounds. Their petals soft and delicate with contain life. Favorable and fair at their sight, they look so nice. They seem to sound like a cascade flowing from a tall and long bay. And up above every single little one, this is the bright and wondrous sun. Don't you feel so alive when you have undergone the wondrous presence of young yellow rosebuds, young yellow rosebuds, young yellow rosebuds, young.
Now you see the image of the budding rose. And this image I am transferring to you so that you will be able to sit within the mind of our ancient audience. This budding, this swelling, this is the orge. We're about to look at a passage. It's the orge. It's the moment that we're all looking for. It's why we're all here, right? And this moment is going to appear in the 12th chapter of the book of John's called the Apocalypse. Yes. I want to look at this section and I want to look at the dragon. And you remember this is about the woman who's having the child, and it's about the dragon, and it's about this inner inner relationship and the chasing. Yes, yes. Let's look at the text, shall we? Pull up the Greek, please. Fantastic. I'm one step behind. Just give me a second. And I'm going to move my chair over so you can see just the side of my face. You might as well. Yeah, verse 13 here. Yeah. Kai hoti eden hodrakon hoti eblethe estenge. When the dragon saw that he was thrown to the earth, edioxintegunaika. Yeah, dioko, to pursue. This is a good word because it can be for the sake of advances, a passion, a consuming passion, a pursuit. Good. Yeah. Hatis etiken ton arsena, the one that bore the child, like I told you. And it was given to her. What was given to her? Duopteruges to megalu. Oh, this is wonderful. Now, this is where you might profit by coming tonight. You might profit here. This is the best place to learn this. Are you ready? Because you're not going to find it elsewhere, right? Nobody cares. Look at this. She has 2 wings. They were giving her 2 wings, but it says wings to aetu, which in an aetu is translated as an eagle. Can we bring aetu up, please? Yes. Yeah. Look at this. This is a wonderful, lovely word here. Whoops, I'm sorry. This is a lovely word here. You're going to love this. An eagle. But notice what they say. An eagle as a bird of omen. An eagle as a bird of omen. It's very important that you see the omen there. Remember, they don't see the same eagle that you do. Surprise. Here we go. Eagle as a standard. That's nice. Number 2, omen. So an eagle can be an omen. Excellent. Look at number 5 is the name of a bandage. That's cool, obviously, from the shape. And the temporal, nice. Look at number 8. In astrology and magic, it's a fabulous plant growing in Libya. That's from Galen, Pamphilius apud Galen. Yeah, so that's where you get a lot of your good info from those docs. But listen to me. This eagle, it's not just any eagle. If we can pull up the text again, this is the eagle. Which one? To aitu, to megalu. And by the way, there is a digamma. It's awetu or awetos. It's got the digamma. It's an old Mycenaean word. Old. Excellent. I love pointing out digammas. We're going to have a club of digammas. Which one? The eagle, megalu. This is the title of the one. The great eagle. The one that represents and accompanies Zeus, God. Do you hear me? God, Zeus. The eagle's wings were given to her and to this woman. And not just any eagles, but the great eagles. This great eagle is the same one that you have seen who stands over Prometheus and removes his liver, eats out his liver. And as Valerius Flaccus would tell you, that eagle is the Medwa, the Medea. Yeah. So now what do we have? We have a little bit of context in here. We have a little bit of, linguistic fingerprintery so that we can say, well, what is this text really talking about? What's going on? Yes. Okay. So let's go down to verse 17. Kai orgiste hodrakon. And the dragon, orgiste. Bring me up orgiste. Show. I need everybody to see this. This is huge. The dragon did what to the woman? Yeah. Yeah. Epitegunaki. Epitate, literally, positionally over her. What is he doing? He's orgaoing. Can we see what this verb orgao is, please? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's okay. Yes, there we go. You got the right one. Thank you, Chewy. I want you to look at. Oh, now if I can find the right one, take a look at this. My great multitude. Oh, there it is. Okay, here's mine. Orgao. Nice. To be getting ready to bear. Okay, so this is a verb and it means to be getting ready to bear. To be getting ready to bear what? Pop, pop, boom. Right? It's that moment. Boom. That explosion. Boom of life. Boom. Love it. Growing ripe for something. Right? It's time. You're growing ripe. You see the rose, the order of the rose, you're growing ripe, right? Nice. Swelling, something swelling. Look at Roman numeral number 2. Of men, it's like ofrigao, to swell with lust, or to wax wanton, or to be rampant. Is anyone else being rampant? I'm not quite sure what that means exactly. I don't even know what to wax wanton really is. But I understand to swell with lust. That I understand. Thank you. Those Victorians. A round of applause for the Victorians. Yes, we. To be in heat, to desire sexual intercourse. Yes, to be in heat. Remember, these are farming cultures that we're talking about. They've got livestock. They've seen the cattle when they come into estrus. Wait a minute. Did somebody say estrus? That's a profound moment. It's Easter time. That's when you do the estrus, right? Fantastic. The Germans worshipped her. What was her name? Ostara, I think. Beautiful stuff. Oh, this is you can't look, you can't dive too deep into this material. You really can't. So here's our verb orgao, meaning to wax wanton, right? To wax wanton. So from that verb, we derive a whole slew of different org roots, and we've got orge, okay, natural impulse or propensity, right? To have here's the noun, it's an abstract noun, right? Natural temperament, disposition. But then look at Roman numeral number 2. It also means anger. A person at the point of that orgasmon is at the point of extreme anger. Wow. And that anger is the same as that romantic sexual passion. Wow. It must be quite a place to be taken by a priestess with the right pharmaceuticals. Wow. Okay. That's fantastic. Hail Satan, right? Let's get our Bacchic chorus going. Tear up into the mountains and steal some babies. Yeah, there's baby stealing. Sorry. It's the blood. Okay, anyway. Let's go to, I want to show you one more verb that is related, and that is sfrigao. Sfrigao. Yep, there. Wait, nope, that's not. Here we go. Yep. There we are. Look at this. Sfrigao, to be full to bursting, to be plump, especially of a woman's breast. So the idea of the life there, the nourishment, the generation, the beginning, and all that kind of stuff. The milk. I love to ask Dr. Carl Ruck about ancient milks. What kind of milks are there? You know, he wrote an entire work on fluids that come out of the body. Fantastic stuff. Love it. Sweats. Anyway, look at this verb. Generally of young persons or high-fed horses. I'm not quite sure with the. Yeah, I mean, I love horses and I took care of horses, but I'm not quite sure what he's going for there, etc. To be fresh, vigorous, in full health or strength. That bloom, the idea of the bloom is in this word. It's in this root system that's following the org roots. And it's the idea of the budding to completion, kind of the cycle of life. Right? The efflorescence of the beauty is there. The budding of the rose, right? Blossoming, nice. Look at number 4, swell with desire, or again, to be at heat. So specifically the period of estrus. And why is it that we are so interested in the estrus? Because that is everything within the cult. That is the morning star. Let's go back to our text. I told you from last week. I want to make sure that you understand the throne, because I want you to be able to facilitate your initiation into the satanic way, Saturnian way. And in order to do that, you really need to understand the direction that you're going. You're going to unravel to find out what that source is from the very bottom. And you're going to work with that source to build what is the real, right? It's complete reason is all that we can have to guide us. Bring us back to the text, please, Chewy. Yes. So what happened? Verse 17, kai orgiste hodrakon epite gunaiki. So he did that orge on her, right? Good. Kai ap elthen poiesai polemon. Okay. So, and then he goes on to make war with seed. So where are we? How do we find the meaning behind what he's saying with this woman and this drakon? What is the original, right? So we're not looking at the fiction. We don't want the fairy tale side. We want the real side. So I showed you for just a minute, I showed you the reference to the goddess who relieves the pains of birth. I showed you that. And I want us to realize that the estrus, or the oestrus, is that chemical. It's the concrete, real bond that we have with this history, is that chemical. The worshippers of Diana, who was one of this great goddess that we all are drawn to, who we'll call Dawn. And we'll say that Lucifer's job is to bring that dawn to you, to bring her. Wisdom is out in the street. She's crying out there, saying, if you take me in, I'll stay with you. Fantastic. So here we are with the dragon and the estrus, the oestrus. So we're all engaging in something that is developed and supported by the images that are being generated by women who are in this way. And these women can burn off your mortality. Okay. You can enter into a state through a combination of music or song. They say the song is the most important element, in combination with pharmaceuticals, to interact with the risen form, they called it, the risen form. And that's why we're all here in the apocalypse, right? What did you think was being revealed? Right? An apocalypse is a revelation. It's a revelation. And with that, the stroke of 7:30 comes. And I just want to leave you with an impression. Yeah. As we progress, I want you to be able to sit on the throne. What does that mean? The throne of Satan. What is the throne of Satan? You can watch 1,000 shows. You can watch 1,000 shows. You can watch 1,000 episodes on YouTube all about the throne of Satan, and none of them are correct. None of them. Tonight, I offer you, shut up, Young. I offer you the throne of Satan. What is the throne of Satan? It is the place from which the satanic power is exercised. It is the star. And if you draw down the star, you can use the images provided by the dead to be born again. Yeah. You asked about magic last week and wanting to do the magic. Until you are sitting on that throne, the physics are explained this way. When it gets in the physics, I get sort of lost. But the makeup of the universe is such that there are compartments, zones. Yeah. And in these zones, one of them is called the wilderness in Greek. That is where the power of the Saturnian reigns in the wilderness. So anytime you see somebody pulled from Uranos, which we see in the Apocalypse 12, pulled from Uranos and shot into the wilderness, then you're seeing an explanation, an analog of how the physics work between the two dimensions that are overlapping. Okay, and I can't go there. But what I can do is tell you how they presented this as accessible to you, right? Because we're all here, obviously, if you're listening to me. I don't know. Is anybody not here? Yeah. But in the Eremon, in that wilderness, and we'll see that come up, you have certain rulers in certain places. This is, again, analog, right? Analogia. So you have certain rulers in certain places. And Lucifer is the ruler of this world. Your access to that authority and that power, more like auctoritas, but anyway, that power comes through the star. I am telling you what the texts have told me through the muse. It comes through asterion. That's how the oestrus allows us to become oestromaniacs looking for historia. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So for those of you who have ears to hear, you will understand the star. Yeah, and maybe now you'll be interested in the order of the rose. Chewy, would you mind giving our thanks to Travis Kitchens? I just want to thank Travis Kitchens. Could we play the thanks to Travis Kitchens? And for the rest of you, I have a couple of questions to answer. And I'm going to save those because there's two that are directly relevant to Friday night's satanic initiation, our Sabbat. And I want everybody there who can to be seated on the throne. Yes. Yeah. And then maybe we can enter that state, the orgiastic, mental, quantum state. Yeah, glorious, glorious stuff. Love it. We're going to follow the beast and unfold these texts so that you can see exactly what's being said. No BS here, just exactly what it says. When it says a seal is a drug that you put insert in your rectum as a suppository, right? When you break those seals, now you start to get it. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Be on that throne next week, and hail Satan.